everyone, guys, it's Oля today with you, and you know that I had a plan to compare all marriage agencies, all romance tours, but of course my opinion, it's only my opinion, I'm always looking from the side, so I bring you just the perfect guy who can give you the honest opinion. He was client of all three romance tours agencies. He paid his own money for that, so he had his own experience, and now he is going to help me to compare all three and give you his opinion. So I think his opinion will be even more valuable than mine. Okay, so here's a Toby. He's a really nice guy. Yeah, and let's start our comparison. Okay, so today we compare three romance tour agency. It's AFA, it's a Dream Connections, and this is International Romance and Adventure. Okay, so let's start. The first, what I think is the most important, it's price. What you can say about price of these three agencies?
So each agency has a different format, different price, different options, and I guess a different style of how they conduct their trips. But I'd say price for value, the International Romance and Adventure trip, for me, is probably the best format and the best price.
But how much does it cost? Tell us exact prices, because some guys don't want to figure out how much does it cost. You remember the prices?
Yeah, I remember. So let's see, last summer I came to Ukraine with Dream Connections. I think the total price for it was a 9-day tour to Nikolaev from Odessa. If I remember correctly, the price was somewhere around, I think it was $47.50 or $47.99, something like that. It's less than $5,000. It's a little pricey. It's better to book your airfare well in advance. So this summer I decided to try the A Foreign Affair 6-city tour, which was a great value overall, in my opinion. I think it was $5,400, but there's a lot of additional fees and expenses with translation, depending upon what girls you meet, how many dates you go on, what's the length of the date. So it really kind of added up for me, because at $20 an hour, that adds up really quickly if you have a lot of really long dates. So it's great if you have a personal assistant or a translator that's included in your tour package. That's really the only disadvantage for me with AFA, but I'm just getting here with International Romance and Adventure. Yeah, so price, what I like about the IRNA trip is the accommodations for an American are really nice. The luxury accommodations, the great view. You can upgrade to a premium apartment, which is wonderful. Most of the hotels that you stay in with Dream Connections in particular are, in my opinion, substandard. They're uncomfortable. I like air conditioning. It's hard to get that here. It's also very hard to get ice cubes here. But yeah, the apartment format here is wonderful. For an American who hasn't been abroad, I would highly recommend looking into it.
And what about foreign affair accommodation?
The foreign affair accommodation changes based on your city. You don't really have control over booking your hotel room or upgrading. My recommendation when you get off the bus is to be the first in line to check in and ask for a room upgrade if possible. Some of the hotels were okay. The hotel in Odessa, Londonskaya, obviously is really popular. It's on Primorsky Boulevard. It's very comfortable. The hotel in Kiev probably could have been better, honestly, for that experience. Some of the provincial cities were okay. The hotel in Kherson is really nice. It's called Optima, and that was very comfortable. But I got kicked out of the hotel. I decided to stay a couple extra days, and I had to get kicked out of the hotel because there was a big group of Turkish men coming that were taking over the whole hotel. So I had to find alternative accommodations. There's very limited comfortable hotel arrangements in Nikolaev and Kherson. I found the hotel in Nikolaev to be uncomfortable.
And now the next important question about romance tours, it's the way how you meet girls. How you can describe shortly 3 agency, which way you have to meet girls, how many girls you meet in general, what you like more, what you feel more comfortable.
Yeah. So I have tried all 3 formats now. There's advantages and disadvantages to each format. AFA is different. For an American, you have to know what you want and be able to go after it because it's big socials. So you have a 4-hour period of time to meet a lot of women, and you're assigned different translators, and it can be hit or miss, and it's really more up to you. Success is really up to you. But yeah, so I kind of like the AFA format the best because I prefer taking charge of the situation and making my own decisions. But, you know, as you've said in the past, the best way to meet a woman is the natural way. Yeah, I mean, the speed dating format is fun. It's a good way to meet people and talk and get comfortable. But what I've found is that mingling in an open social format is generally the quickest and easiest way to gauge chemistry, interest, you know, common attraction, and honestly, as an American, English speaking skills. But, you know, you kind of have to just go with your impressions when you meet someone. Good eye contact, good body gestures, good interaction, good energy. So
okay, so yeah, for Unifor they really have, I think it's perfect for guys who has great communication skills, so you are not shy.
Right.
You can just go ahead and
Yeah.
have as much, because for shy guys I think really speed dating is better, so because they don't have this internal passion to speak with somebody. But how you can compare speed dating in Dream Connections and speed dating in international romance? Is it the same or you feel some difference?
Yeah, it's different. I prefer the one-on-one speed dating because there's no distractions. So with Dream Connections, because of the time limitations, like I don't really like time limitations when I'm speaking to someone. I want to just, you know, turn off the stopwatch and be able to ask as many questions as I want, see how good the eye contact is, see what type of answers I get, and then answer their questions. There's no way to really, you know, time box that experience. But what I found with International Romance and Adventure is the one-on-one speed dating is much better for me. When you walk up to a table and there's 3, 4, 5 women at one table. I experienced the same thing in Nikolaev with A Foreign Affair. They did speed dating there at their social. It's awkward because each one of those women, they're already competing with one another. They're already a little bit uncomfortable with the fact that they, you know, cannot get your attention. And it's oftentimes there's one lady who's more dominant than the others who tries to rule the conversation, and you don't actually get to talk with the woman that you might be interested or visually attracted to. So I prefer the format here at International Romance and Adventure over that Dream Connections format. But the reality is for them, I guess there's too many women and it's time limited.
Yeah.
So you only have so much face time at each table. But I don't really like that table to table pre-programmed experience. I'd rather walk into a room and say, yeah, this one, bring them to me, we'll talk. That works better for me. But, you know, to each his own. There's advantages, disadvantages of each format.
Yeah, true. Okay, so you describe a little bit already Women's Prize. Again, tell us a little bit about city. So you've been for sure in Nikolaev for 1 week. Now you're in Dnipro. Then you just passed half of Ukraine with Foreign Affair. What do you think? What do you feel?
So to me, I know you're from Kyiv. Kyiv to me was just like an ancient city of history, government. I personally found it to be very boring. I know there's a lot there.
Yeah, but it's really huge.
Yeah, and I actually went on some really cool dates over the river. There's a bridge there that's lit, and there's an island. Went out there I'm not that highbrow. So, to me, my favorite cities, obviously for parties, if you want to party and have a good time and go to the beach, go to Arcadia, go to the Dolphinarium and have a great walking city. Odessa is probably the best for that. Poltava is dull. Very dull.
It's small city.
Very small. It's more of a agrarian farming city. There's not much going on there.
What you can say about Dnipro? Nobody knows about Dnipro. Tell guys something.
Based on what I know, based on what I've seen, it's probably the best that I've seen of all the cities. The most infrastructure, the most business, the cleanest, the best view. I haven't been to many restaurants here, but the Bartolomeo Resort was just rock star awesome. I loved it. Yeah, the Bartolomeo Resort is top notch. Probably the best that I've seen so far in Ukraine in my travels. Nikolaev is fairly provincial. Kherson is very provincial, very limited options, limited hotels. It's very affordable. I would say Nikolaev is actually probably a little bit better than Kherson. Kherson there's just not much to do besides Fabrica Mall. But I would say my two favorite locations are definitely Kharkov and Dnipro.
Okay, and I think the last question which I ask you, it's you know that all those tours, they're expensive. We don't hide, yes. So if you want to come cheap to Ukraine, you can just take a plane and go by yourself. So in all the three agencies, you pay for service. Yes, so you pay, so people need to serve you as much as they can. So how you can compare service of Foreign Affairs, service of Dream Connections, and service of International Romance and Adventure?
Well, each one offers different types of services, different formats. None of them are necessarily as tailor-made as you might want. I haven't been on any of the VIP exclusive club specific tours. So far the IRNA, International Romance and Adventure trip is the most is more of an open format, and it's more tailor-made to what the client desires. Obviously the other tour companies have VIP club. I'm cheap. I don't want to pay for that. I would prefer to go on the general tour just because it's a much larger pool of women. And, for me, I'd rather just meet as many different women as possible and then kind of develop the options and see what happens. So.
Yeah, but just to summarize, what I see from my point, Foreign Affair, you are up, it's all up to you. So you're actually alone, you just can hire some translator or assistants, let's say, and he will assist you if you need. But in general, you just come to tour, all up to you, so you're actually alone. With Dream Connections, you have assistant all the time with you who, like 24/7 probably, who do everything what you ask. And International Romance, you have the all company with you, so you even don't have one personal translator. All people just serve you, they organize for you. So how do you feel? Like, what you can comment about that?
I feel the most comfortable here. Maybe it's just an illusion because my apartment is so nice, but the people are very friendly here. They're very accommodating. Oleg actually listens to what the clients have to say, and you can adjust. The challenge with Dream Connections and AFA is you're on a timetable, you're on a schedule, you have to be at a certain place at a certain time, on the bus, go here, go there. It's hard to, adjust it as you want it to be.
For a person who likes freedom.
For a person that likes freedom, and likes to kind of do their own thing. There are some benefits with AFA, but having to hire a translator and pay $20 an hour, to me, is a big drawback. That should be included. It should be all-inclusive for that price point. So that's my only real knock on the AFA trip. But the good thing is that if you don't like your translator and you go city to city to city, you can hire a different girl. The problem with Dream Connections is you're locked in to one girl for the entire time. If you have a conflict in personality or a difference of opinion, then you can't change it. So that's the drawback for me with Dream Connections. The women there are wonderful, but you know, you don't have as much choice. And as an American, we love choice.
So, but you, what do you think is better when you have your personal translator all the time with you? Because in international romance, you don't have somebody with you all the time, but you have a big part of people who can participate time from time. So what for you personally is more comfortable?
Me personally, I'd rather go my own way, do my own thing. You know, it's kind of like that new masculinism philosophy, men going their own way. It's great because I can choose and I'm in charge how I want to spend my time in Dnipro, which works for me. I mean, really works for me. So
really works.
Yeah.
We will then write in titles what happens with you in a week.
Right. So we'll see.
Because there are a lot of interesting stories already.
Yeah. I've had some entertaining experiences, but yeah, I mean, you kind of have to expect the unexpected. You have to be flexible and you have to adjust when you're in Ukraine. I mean, it's Ukraine, right?
Yeah, it's Ukraine. Okay, Toby, thank you so much for the interview. I hope, God, that he really gave you valuable advice. He really gave you honest. He told just what he think, and he tell actually disadvantages and advantages of every agency, and I agree. All three is good, all three is bad. It's all up to you about your personality. If you want to be free all the time, you want to be, or you just want that somebody take your hand and go this. It's all agencies different. You just need to choose which one fit you better. But Toby had experience with all three, so he gave you all his really opinion. Okay, so thank you so much for watching this video. Please write in the comments everything what you want to ask. We will answer you. And of course, don't forget to subscribe to this channel. Okay, bye.
Bye.